What's good? It's your boy Fanon. All right, I'm going to talk about Abel Sanchez and HBO and some of the things that he said about Max Kellerman being biased. And man, I'm telling you, man, this guy is a comedy. And now, before I do that, I want to thank everybody for tuning in. Thank you guys for subscribing. If you're not subscribed, please accept my invitation to subscribe to the channel. Thank you to everybody that supports the super chats, supports the channel through watching the videos. We put commercial in the videos, so I appreciate you guys watching through those. Also, thank you to everybody that donates on Venmo, Patreon, and the super chats and the live stream. Now, there's not too much more that I can say about Abel Sanchez, man. But let me tell you what he did. Let me go through what he actually said, and just how this just lets you further know that this guy is one of the biggest hypocrites slash clowns in boxing, man. This is an article I know came out a couple days ago. It came out yesterday, actually, yesterday morning. Golovkin's coach says Kellerman is one of the most biased on TV. Abel Sanchez, the trainer of former middleweight champion Gennady Golovkin, does not have a high opinion of HBO broadcast analyst Max Kellerman. 2 weeks ago, Canelo Alvarez won a 12-round majority decision over Golovkin to capture the WBC, WBA middleweight titles at the T-Mobile Arena in Vegas. Golovkin suffered his first defeat in a close contest with scores of 114, 114, 115, 113, and 115, 113. During the HBO pay-per-view broadcast, there were many fans who felt Kellerman was very pro-Canelo during much of his commentary of the highly competitive action. According to Sanchez, he never pays attention to HBO on-air crew, Jim Lampley, Harold Letterman, and especially Kellerman. You know what? I don't watch the HBO guys because all three of them are biased. Max Kellerman is a world of his own, watching something other people aren't watching, so I don't really watch them. He's by far one of the most biased commentators on television, Sanchez said during an interview session on Reddit. Sanchez believes his fighter won the contest with a 7-5 round margin. Going into the final round, Sanchez felt Golovkin was up by 1 round and begged his fighter to win the 12th, which he believes he did. Absolutely, I scored every round. I keep it in my head. I was in the 12th. I felt we were 1 round up. I felt it was 6-5 going into the 12th. So I just wanted the 12th round to be more decisive. Not that I thought we were 6-5, but I took into account we were in Vegas. It was really 7-4. It was 7-4 really, but taking into consideration where you're at, that's why I tried to implore him that he needed this round just to be sure, says Sanchez. Sanchez has nothing against the judges. There was no big issue with the decision, but he obviously wants his boxer to secure a trilogy fight with Canelo. Now, man, this is just comedy. Now now they're biased. First of all, I have a hard time when people use this word biased. Max Kellerman, Jim Lampley, and Harold Letterman definitely, in my opinion, have an agenda. And I don't know what's in their head. I just know that they watch fights that go totally different than what I think and what judges think and what a whole lot of boxing fans think, and that their commentary, they commentate in a way that it leads people to believe what they believe in the middle of a fight, right? So they're playing judge during the fight. I don't like that. And I've said that for a lot of time. But Gennady Golovkin has been one of the greatest beneficiaries of that bias or of that opinionated commentary of Kellerman, Kellerman and Lampley, mostly Lampley. Now, Max Kellerman is not as heavy with it as Jim Lampley is with it, as far as Gennady Golovkin goes. But where was this cry of biased when they were sitting up there talking about him having 20 title defenses? I don't see him ever jumping out and say, hold on, man, you're being unfair. You're being unfairly prejudiced against Bernard Hopkins because, you're saying that my fighter has 20 title defenses and you're counting the WBA regular title, which is not a major championship belt. It's not a title. It designates a mandatory is the better way to describe the WBA regular title. It's not a title. It's not a championship. The WBA regular title, the guy that holds the WBA regular belt is no more the WBA champion than Dillian White is the WBC champion. If you count, but I didn't hear him complaining about it when Gennady Golovkin was getting called the WBA middleweight champion before he ever won it. Where was the complaints then? See, this is why I'm saying I don't like this bias thing. People are only biased when I never hear people call somebody biased when they agree with them. All he's doing by saying that he thinks Max Kellerman is biased is saying that he disagrees with Max Kellerman. And he's being dramatic and he's attacking the guy's integrity. I have to go back and look if I ever called Jim Lampley biased. I've called him other words that I think had the "ist" at the end of it. But I think that he's entitled to his opinion. He can think that somebody won a fight all he wants to. I have no issue with that. The problem that I have with Jim Lampley is that he is judging the fight. While there are millions, well, not anymore, hundreds of thousands now, but it used to be millions. Now it's hundreds of thousands. But the entire audience, or the vast majority of the audience for the fight, is listening to him. And he is moving people's opinions during the fight. He's so bad with it that you have to turn the volume off to judge the fight for yourself. My problem with Jim Lampley and Max Kellerman and Harold Letterman and the whole setup of even having a judge go by the, score the fight as you go, is that you are influencing people and you're not allowing people to make up their own mind. And there's a lot of boxing fans who don't really understand how to score a fight. And might not necessarily know what they're looking at. And they see guys like Lampley, guys like Kellerman, guys like, those guys as somebody that is a source of valuable information. And then when the judges' score turns out different than the guys that who've been brainwashing them for the whole fight, now everybody's, it's a robbery. It's a robbery. Look at this. How in the world can it be? Well, I hear that Abel Sanchez didn't say it's a robbery because, he had it. What did he have it? 6 rounds to, it's either 6-6 or 7-5, whatever it is. He had it within a round or two. And anytime you have it within a round or two in a close fight like that, it depends on what you want, what you like. That's why they have 3 judges. That's why you no longer have a referee scoring the fight alone. Now you have 3 judges who are looking at it, I do believe, from 3 different angles, who come up with their opinion of it. And it is whoever wins the fight is subjective unless there's a knockout. But just Golovkin's trainer of all people, Abel Sanchez of all people, calling somebody biased. When he sat out there and said that black fighters don't sell. If that's not unfairly prejudiced, I don't know what is, because he can't base that in fact. Because the biggest selling fighters in boxing history have been black, have been American black fighters. From Mike Tyson to the most popular ones have Ali, Tyson, Sugar Ray Leonard, Floyd Mayweather Jr. I mean, it's absolutely ludicrous to have said that. That's not based in fact at all. And he's prejudging fights before they happen, saying that the fight fans don't want to see that. I've never heard Max Kellerman say something like that. Max Kellerman's telling you who he thinks wins a round. Now, but if he thought Canelo Alvarez was losing those rounds, he's not biased. He's purely analytical. You get what I'm saying? You never hear somebody say biased when you agree with them. It's as if your opinion is what dictates what is true and what is false, what is a fact and what is subjective. It's based on what Abel Sanchez thinks is true. If Abel Sanchez thinks Gennady Golovkin won the round and Max Kellerman thinks he won the round, then Max Kellerman is being purely analytical. But if Max Kellerman thinks that Canelo lost, I hope I didn't mix that up. If Gennady Golovkin wins a round and Canelo and Max Kellerman agrees with it, then he's being purely analytical. No bias in there. But if he thinks that Canelo won the round, then he's being biased. It's just to call somebody biased in a almost purely subjective sport is at least where the judging is subjective, unless there's a knockout. It's just the worst type of cop-out, man. Why do you think Canelo Alvarez won that round? Gennady Golovkin. Why do you think Canelo Alvarez won the round? Why does somebody else think Gennady Golovkin won the round? And hey, you get a vote, I get a vote. A third party gets a vote, and that's how it works out, man. But it's just all this crap about bias, man, and biased channels and biased judges. I mean, just get a new catchphrase, man. Get a catchphrase. Just because somebody doesn't agree with you, Abel, or anybody else, doesn't make them biased. It just means that you don't agree with their opinion. Your opinion and their opinion are different. But you cop out by making an ad hominem attack on the person by assuming or claiming that they don't have any reason for believing what they believe. And that your reason for believing what you believe isn't your opinion. It's purely fact. Just nonsense. Anyway, it is what it is. And with that, I'm out. Peace.